So another founder in car, and today we will discuss an important life hack if you have limited amount of time, like many an entrepreneur, let alone that. Sleeping behind the steering wheel. But then there is a trick, because reading is very good for you, and oftentimes you might feel pressed for time, or your eyes might feel a little bit sore because you have worked your job at the office or whatever, you had a lot of screen time. And the trick is, books are very good for you because it feeds your fantasy. You will make the pictures itself from the story, but also you can learn a lot of things. Could be self-help, could be economics, could be a new art, could be history, could be storytelling, and that is really enriching your life. And the trick is audiobooks. So what you can do is either go for an audiobook, that there are audiobook services that supply this, but also oftentimes you can find these or similar things like this on YouTube. So someone is telling the story. I would prefer for you to look at a non-robotized voice. So a normal voice which feels a lot warmer, richer, etc. is to be preferred over a robotized voice. And why is that? Because the robotized voice does not have that emotion, doesn't have that warmth that really brings things to life. And of course you can also read for yourself. There are also many a conversion from text to audio. So if the specific book that you're looking for is not there as an audiobook, but you really want to do this, you can still look at this automated conversion from speech to audio. So that's really an option for you to explore. But as mentioned, then you have that robotized voice again. So I would rather prefer that you go for this audiobook. And you even have summaries. So even if you have very limited time of those books in audio, which can really help you to get a grasp of that book. Is that audiobook something that you want to listen the full version, or you want to even buy the book? That's a good way to approach it. And some people are even reviewing the books that they did. So even if there is not an audiobook, there might be a review of that book on YouTube, for example. And that's very easily accessible and can be used as an audiobook. Even if that review is in video, then you still have the audio part, and you can push away the video and still listen to the audio. So for example, if you're working and you're having screen time and you play on the background this audiobook, this really helps. Another thing that you could do is listen to, for example, classical music. And why is that? Classical music also gives that alpha sound waves, which are very beneficial. It increases your stimulation of your brain and thereby also your productivity. And the audiobook can have similar effects. And why is that? Because some people, they have so much mental capacity that even if they do their regular job without, for example, an audiobook in the background, they get a little bit distracted, so to say. And with that audiobook in place, they have enough stimuli to focus on both their work and still have that audiobook also adding little seeds of wisdom to their minds. So you have better focus than at work, and still you learn traits that could also be very beneficial for you in your professional life. So that's a trick I want to tell you. Of course you can also listen to different music or conversation, etc. But oftentimes those are not offering that knowledge or giving you that alpha waves. Normal music is now getting compressed. So what do I imply with that? There are just a limited amount of producers and limited amount of beats that they use, and it's not as rich as classical music. So that's the reason why I advise going for classical music, but even better than that, an audiobook. And if there is an audiobook that's going a little bit slow, there is also a benefit there. Then you can put the audiobook, for example, YouTube at double the speed, or 1.5 times the speed, 150% or 200% of the regular pace. And with that increase in pace, you can also increase the amount of information that's being processed by you. And by doing so, you have the benefit of learning skills at your own pace, which oftentimes is a little bit faster than those with the pace of the book or the read of the book. Some people are reading quite slow, and it can be beneficial for those that are not that fast with it themselves, but could also be a distraction for those that are very fast. Hope this helps. Wishing you a great day. The other way around can also be achieved. You can also put it at half speed or 3/4 speed of the regular speed. So if it goes too fast for you, but you really want to understand it, and you get distracted by that because you have to rewind it all the time because you just didn't get it, it went too fast, you can opt for this slow motion, half speed, 3/4 speed. Half speed is oftentimes a little bit too slow, but 3/4 speed you don't get that feeling that you're listening in a slow motion, but you still have the benefit, if that's something for you, to understand it perhaps a little bit better and don't get distracted because you're missing points, especially if you have a very fast reader or the thing that we are talking about is just not